there, happy Monday. Going to start with a quote as we always do, and this is from the movie Groundhog Day, and I'm afraid it hits way too close to home. What would you do if you were stuck in one place and every day was exactly the same and nothing you did mattered? Yeah, I told you it was just a bit too true to be funny, but here we are. Welcome to February. I don't really care what some rodent does tomorrow unless it comes up wearing a mask. It's really kind of out of tune with what's going on in the world. And honestly, why would you wake anyone or anything up who's lucky enough to be sleeping through all this anyway? Let him get his beauty rest. You might as well ask a raccoon for the winning lottery numbers. It makes about as much sense. Now, I don't know if you're like me, but I love to greet someone by their name, and that's what I want to talk about today, because if you were ever on a listener trip with me, you'll know that I studied names and pictures on the flight to our destination so that I'd have everyone and their travel partner's name memorized by the time we landed. Rob and I would practice like they were flashcards. Now, it didn't work every time, like if a couple wasn't together and I had committed Mark with the mustache, mustache Mark, Mark and Mandy, Mark and Mandy, Mark, Mork and Mindy. You know what I mean? It was all kind of an association game, and much of the time it worked. Why go to that trouble? Well, it comes back to some wisdom that a sales manager once told me, something I think originated with Dale Carnegie, the self-improvement and public speaking guru, that went like this: there is no sweeter sound to one's ear than the sound of his name. Now, perhaps this is truer in sales than anywhere else, but it was a nugget of gold that I tucked away as just another way to connect with people. I do this a lot in my real life, whatever that is these days, although I do question it sometimes. I call servers by their name if they introduce themselves. If a cashier at the grocery store wears a name tag and I have a question or want to thank her, I'll use her name, especially to thank her these days. So I was talking to my son-in-law and his wife a few weeks back and asked how the person on the receiving end of their name feels about it. Now, they both kind of seemed rather lukewarm. They said it depended on the tone with which the person was using it. Now, I get that. As a couple who've both worked in the food hospitality business, I'm sure there have been plenty of rude or implacable customers who have connected Phil or Brooke's names to a complaint or some snark, and that's unfortunate. Tone can also be used to imply that the person on the receiving end is somehow lesser than the one who's speaking it. That pains me to even say, but you know it's true, because there are a lot of jerks out there who don't recognize that a human being is there serving their coffee or reaching out through the drive-through window in sub-zero temperatures, or reminding them to please keep their grocery bags on the little pull-out shelf and not in the area where the items that have been rung through are sitting, of which I was guilty last week. Thank you, Anna, for pointing that out. Anyway, Phil and Brooke's opinions were valuable, but I'll never stop saying someone's name in hopes that my efforts land softly and as they're intended. Okay, one time I did it though, and it caused some all-out laughter, and I will never forget this. I was in a liquor store, those were the days, and the woman serving me had on a name tag, and as she rang up my purchases, I looked at her little plastic plaque, and I said, "Oh, buy it. Is that Welsh?" "No," she replied. "It means bring your ID. BYID. Oh my God, we laughed. That was just classic me. I mean, the best intentions, but putting my old size 10 foot in it. So there you go. Hope it gave you a laugh. I'm still laughing about it. You have to these days, right? Laugh at it all. Have a great day, and thank you for coming by. Have a happy Groundhog Day tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. And we will talk to you on Thursday.